Yo, what's happening everybody? King GBL here and welcome back to a brand new Go Battle League video. Today I'm going to be showcasing some really fun battles here with Ariados in the Open Great League. This is one of my favourite Pokemon to use in limited metas. It is super spammy, does a lot of damage, and wins CMP against so many different Pokemon. I absolutely love this Pokemon here. And in the first match, the opponent's actually staying in with a Charm A9, so they might be double or triple weak to this. They come in with Talonflame, we get the boost. I know this is not a good matchup, but ladies and gents, we're staying in here for a reason, because look at the damage of this thing. It is just doing crazy damage. We swap out. This is most likely a Flame Charge, but I thought they might just fault in the Brave Bird at this point. Maybe they didn't notice the swap out. And we get a very quick top left for the first game. That is the power of Ariados right there. If you get it in the right situations, especially with the boost of the Cross Poison, if you can get that off on the opponent's last Pokemon, you can just put them in such a rough spot where they're completely debuffed, and Ariados will hit almost anything for neutral, of course apart from Steel types, which you will see a little bit later on, but you can play around with Steel types, especially with Obstagoon in the back. We're going to hop into the next match here, and we've got a Slowbro in the lead. Sorry if you can hear my squeaky table by the way, I need to get that replaced, but we're going to swap into Umbreon because of course it's not really super positive for Ariados, because they can know like Psychic and things like that. Really quickly before we hop into the rest of these battles here, if you've not yet subscribed, I know a couple of you have watched the videos and maybe do enjoy them, but just maybe don't realize you're not subscribed or just haven't done so yet. Quickly do that now if you do like the videos, because of course it is absolutely free, and worst case scenario you change your mind a couple of months and you can unsubscribe. It's as simple as that. So if you like these videos, quickly do that now, and let's hop into the rest of these battles. We've got an interesting Pokemon here. Homeslice Henry was showcasing this quite recently. Zweilous, it just gets to these moves pretty quickly, does a ton of damage, and it's a Pokemon actually, now that I'm thinking about it, might have been a little bit better for this team. Of course you can win against Noctowl and even Shields. The Dragon Breaths are so oppressive and the Body Slams come thick and fast. And of course, you know, Dark Pulse and everything to hit the Psychic and Ghost types in the meta, so definitely could have been a good one there, but I did decide to go for Umbreon because it's a little bit safer. A ton of people commented on the Umbreon video saying I was misplaying it, which was correct. If you're playing Umbreon, if it's in a neutral scenario, go straight Foul Play, and if it's of course resisted, go for your last resort at that point. So if you can only get off one move, go straight for the last resort, it does more damage, but in general, go for Foul Play. I've got Obstagoon here on Nidoqueen. This is not that straightforward. The opponent, of course, has us debuffed already, so we're going to have to respect this Poison Fang. It would definitely chunk. In comes Slowbro, and you know, they can just start water gunning us down here. Our switch timer is locked. I guess I probably did not whip my timer down, so that's probably my mistake there at some point. That's just a little thing that I sort of need to improve. By the time we get in here with Ariados to potentially go for a lunge, the opponent's already at a Surf here, which of course they got recently with the Community Day, and the opponent's at back-to-back moves here in fact, so the opponent overfarmed very well there. I mean, I guess in the opening match I could have stayed in and went for lunges, I would reach them first, but in this game here we're coming in with Obstagoon. Now we actually have Gunk Shot on this thing, and ladies and gents, will the Azumarill respect the Gunk Shot? This would do about 80% of their health. Let's say the opponent does not respect it, not even 80%, like maybe 75. Azumarill so tanky. At this point I decide, okay, Obstagoon is pretty strong against Trevenant. They might have a Steel type in the back, so I'm just going to try to stay in here. The opponent does let that go, and at this point I'm thinking this is kind of rough, but I would almost rather double shield this, just to kind of keep my Obstagoon alive. We'll see what the opponent comes in with. If they come in with Trevenant, yeah, so they might have a Steel type in the back. Now to be honest with you, it didn't really quite click that way. At the time, I wish I swapped out here at this point, because Seed Bomb won't do a lot of damage, but it does enough to make it awkward. So at that point I do swap out and sort of realise that they might have something in the back that I need to face off against. It is a Galarian Stunfisk, and at this point we can just kind of start spamming off a couple of foul plays. The opponent will eventually have to shield up here, but the good thing about Umbreon here is they can eat the Earthquakes absolutely no problem. Of course Rock Slides wouldn't do too much either, so it's going to take them like 2 Earthquakes and a bit, like 2 Earthquakes and a Rock Slide to take us out. So at the very least we should be able to get a shield or 2 off the opponent. So 1, yeah, the opponent's throwing, I think this is another Earthquake, this might just take out. Yeah, so it actually just about doesn't take out. We come into Ariados right here to try and absorb the energy. This will be a Rock Slide, but at least we can get off a debuff. We're going to fire this straight off here, and this is going to start getting close. That actually done like more than I expected at the time. We're going to go for a Cross Poison. This actually might force the opponent's shield. They might think it's another lunge. They do go for a shield, and we get the Attack Rise, the unnecessary boost. Whenever you get this thing boosted, it's crazy. So at this point, they come into Trevenant, bro. They had a Seed Bomb loaded. I was raging at this because I knew that they had it. I should have anticipated that better. And yeah, GG's to the opponent there. I don't know about you guys, but in the Great League I've noticed like a big shift recently. I don't know if it's just me here in Japan, but I've noticed a lot of people using things like Azumarill, Charm A9. I'm seeing a lot of dark types, you know, of course you get the ghost types. That seems to be what it's dominated by. Ever since I started running like double dark teams, I'm just seeing a ton of double darks and fairies as well. So I might switch back over to the light side quite soon. I've been running a few meme teams over the last couple of days. Of course, we done Togekiss yesterday with the amazing move of Aura Sphere. Somebody was trying to convince me that it was better, but it just isn't. Sorry if you're watching, by the way, but it just isn't better. Like it barely helps in certain scenarios, and in general, Flamethrower covers most of the other stuff as well. You know, like against steel types, like you know, like a steel psychic type, like Metagross. You know, like Flamethrower is better. You know, it's just not really that much better. I was trying to use like a triple counter team: Galarian, Zapdos, Shadow Blaziken, and Obstagoon. So I've been using a lot of meme teams the last couple of days here, messing around, and of course we landed on Ariados here today. Overall, I think I went about even with it. I don't necessarily recommend running it, but this video is here just for your entertainment, so you can run Ariados if you want to. You might need to protect against Noctowls. That's kind of why I like Umbreon. It does win against Noctowl. Maybe like a double poison line with Toxapex might work. Like you could do something in the lead that beats a Flyer, and then have Toxapex in the back as well, like a double poison line. The opponent comes in here with the Dene. I have not seen one of these boyos in a minute. And here, ladies and gents, we're going to spam off one cross poison. We're going to spam off the second one, and that's going to be bye-bye to, you know, little beta Pikachu. This thing thinks it's Pikachu, it just isn't, bro. Do you guys notice that, bro? Why do they keep bringing out like these new Pikachu-looking Pokemon? I mean, it's pretty obvious it's for marketing, but you know, I think it's quite funny. They come in with Bastiodon, and this is exactly why Obstagoon's on this team. We need something in the back here that can potentially deal with this Pokemon. We can either, of course, if they swap straight into it, we can swap straight into Obstagoon, and we do get the boost here. Now at this point, I'm really strong with Obstagoon, so I'm going to try and counter this all the way down. They reach these in 7, so I can comfortably counter down. In comes Venusaur, and at this point, these Night Slashes are going to add up. We're going to get off 2 Night Slashes before they get off 1 Frenzy Plant, and the opponent is just in a very tough spot here. We still have Ariados alive, and if they have anything in the back, they might even have like another double steel Pokemon here. We'll just have to wait and see. Yeah, so this actually is a double steel line, which is quite interesting. I did see this against my Swampert double flyer line, which was quite awkward. We catch the Rock Slide because the opponent, of course, do need to get Obstagoon out of here. And yeah, at this point, the opponent's just in an absolute shambles. Good games, and the opponent rightfully top lefts right there. So you can see, like in in niche scenarios with Ariados, it definitely can work out quite well for you. Overall, like it is risky, and we get a Shadow Mewtwo here. This is a Pokemon I've been tempted to run. We're just going to showcase this battle just for the memes. They've got a Scrafty. So hard countered on the front, hard countered on the switch. Let's see if we can turn this around here. We're going to go for a couple of last resorts here, because of course this is going to be resisted foul play. That does no amount of damage, but we just need to chip this thing down as much as possible. If we can get this under 50% health, it might be somewhat manageable for Ariados. But in general, this is looking kind of tough. The opponent has to get off another foul play. To be honest with you, I thought this might threaten a shield, but no. The opponent realizes, and they know Scrafty well enough to know that, and they obviously know Umbreon well enough to know they can let that go. So I was kind of hoping to get that shield off the opponent. They go for a boosted foul play, which does not tickle. I see MP here, because I don't want to take any more damage on this thing if possible. And we're going to swap straight out, expecting the Mewtwo. In comes a Drapion, and we're running this with Gong Shot, of course, to give us the extra coverage against the fairy types. I think you probably could just run this with Cross Chop, honestly. You know, in this team in particular. In certain teams, you do need Gong Shot, and Gong Shot might help against, you know, things like Noctowl and so on. If you can get it off, or of course things like Azumarill, gives you that option to hit back or get a shield off the opponent. But in matchups like this, I think it's where you would prefer Cross Chop for sure. We're going to basically counter this the whole way down, and try to leave with a little bit of energy. We're going to go into Ariados, which I think was a mistake here, and we go for Cross Poison. I think maybe like getting off the Night Slash first might have been the better play, because the opponent can just farm us all the way down, and I'm like, oh no, please be a Psychic. It's the Focus Blast. I was kind of raging there. We get took out by Shadow Mewtwo of all things. Definitely a very tough team for us to handle there, but I think there was 1 or 2 keys there that could have flipped up in my favor. GG's the opponent there. Definitely a little bit of a tougher one, but let's hop into this next one. It's Drapion on the lead, so we're seeing Drapions here now. So we're going to go ahead and go for the Lunge, which of course will be neutral, given that they've got the joint Dark type. That's going to debuff their attack, and since they're staying in here, I'm thinking maybe I should shield this up. I don't want this on my back Pokemon necessarily. I wouldn't have the best time against it. I mean, Obstagoon would be fine, but if I can deal with it in the front, I'll be happy enough. At this point, we've double debuffed them, and we can easily eat a crunch here. It's not going to be pretty, it's not nice to eat, but we can deal with it. In comes Walrein. So, of course, again, my best option here is Obstagoon. I might consider swapping into, I swap into my Umbreon at this point, and the opponent is going to probably fire off an Earthquake and dip out of here. But the opponent is actually staying in, so I'm thinking, right, why are you not swapping out? Are you weak to my little blue and black fox here? Whatever this is supposed to be. So I'm like, okay, I've got Obstagoon, so I should maybe be fine. The opponent goes for an Icicle Spear here. We're just basically going to overfarm here and commit a shield, I think. Because I am reading that they're weak to this in the back. The opponent, so they're just staying in here. They just do not want to see Umbreon in the back whatsoever. We're going to swap straight into Obstagoon. We've got a Night Slash banked. And the opponent top left. I think it would take them like 2 or 3 Seed Bombs to take out Obstagoon. I'm pretty sure you can take it out with 3 Seed Bombs in the Ultra League. It might be like 2 and Shadow Claws. In either case, we're going to get off multiple moves, and of course we have a move banked, and of course we have Ariados. So a little bit too much for the opponent there, and they come in with Galarian Stunfisk this time. This is exactly where we want to see it, and again, it's sort of where Cross Chop would be a little bit better. But is it even better when you're getting the boosts, ladies and gents? Obstagoon is a tanky boy, he can eat this. Now, I see MP on the Rock Slide. I don't want to take any more damage on this thing, considering I've got it boosted, and this boosted attack will just absolutely rip through something here. Back in comes Azumarill. We're going to farm all the way up, ladies and gents. We are committing to the Gunk Shot. Ladies and gents, will the opponent respect the boosted Gunk Shot? Yes, they do, unfortunately. But we get the shield off on Azumarill, which is amazing, and we're going to come in with Ariados. Now, I'm expecting this to be like an Ice Beam, but the opponent goes for the Hydro Pump. So I'm thinking they're probably going Hydro Pump and, not Dazzling Gleam, Play Rough. That's what I'm expecting here. We're trying to throw after good timing, just to try to maintain a little bit of discipline in this match. The opponent is shielded up, so I'm thinking, are you actually double weak to this thing in the back? They do not seem to want to let this go. They go for another Hydro Pump, and in comes a Victory Bell. So I'm like, haha, idiot. That's what you get for running a Victory Bell. The opponent sort of sees that it's over, and Ariados deals with it. There are a lot of teams that can't deal with Ariados. Of course, being able to hit Darks and Fairies were super effective. The main concern is, of course, Flying types and Fire types with this Pokemon. You don't really see a lot of Fire types, even though we did get, of course, the Talonflame earlier, but it's just not that common. And Galarian Stunfisk can be a problem for this as well. So I actually was going to swap straight out, and I tried to catch a Rock Slide on the Umbreon. The opponent predicted, and they're going to probably fire off an Earthquake here. So this could be a little bit tough for us, because they're going to chip us and most likely dip us. Now this is a Noctowl, so we can potentially flip this matchup if we invest shields, and I would be pretty inclined to do so. Even if I'm not able to flip it, at the very least if I can get this thing low, that'll be a big obstacle out of the way, and it'll maybe allow my sort of Obstagoon to roam free in the back, because of course we can beat the Galarian Stunfisk. I think at this point I actually might consider shielding, because we're actually putting in more damage here. We're going to fire off another Foul Play, see if the opponent wants to respect it, or if they want to let the Noctowl go. They do respect it, and we're going to try and fire off another one. We go for the Overfarm here, willing to commit both shields and try to take switch off the opponent here. We're going to fire off another Foul Play, and we're going to be getting very, very close to another one here. So that's the importance of throwing in good timing here, and the opponent does just about take us out. And at this point, we can eat a Sky Attack on the Obstagoon, and we'll basically just go for an aggressive farm down with the swing 1, 2, 3, 4. So the opponent was not going to reach a move, and we'll see what they've got in the back. They've got a Trevenant, so at this point I've got a chance. The opponent is not going to be able to reach a move before we reach 2 Night Slashes. We do reach it. Of course, Seed Bombs do chunk the Obstagoon, so we can just get this straight out of here. At this point I come in and decide to go straight for the debuff on this thing. Of course, one Rock Slide would pretty much take out, but not after it gets debuffed, ladies and gents. This is the beauty of Ariados. You know, even if it's not a winning matchup, if you've got it alive at the end, and you're basically 2v1 on a Pokemon, you can come in and just debuff, and I get the 20% battery thing at the very unoptimal time there. I'm lucky enough you're able to hit the bubbles through that. I absolutely hate that. Like, do I really need a big pop-up on my screen? The opponent's starting to get low here, and like, as you're seeing, if they try to overfarm a little bit too much, they're just leaving themselves in a rough spot here. They do finally take us out, and ladies and gents, the opponent's at an Earthquake. Can we survive this? Obstagoon is bulky, and they're double debuffed. We do survive it, and we're able to reach the Night Slash just in time to take out the Galarian Stunfisk. So that is the beauty of Ariados, like I said. With loaded energy, you can just debuff the life out of things, even survive super effective moves like Rock Slides, and generally it was a really fun Pokemon to use. I went maybe even or slightly positive with it. So like I can't necessarily recommend using it, but if you want to have a little bit of fun, Ariados can core break a lot of teams. Everybody, thank you very much. Like I said, if you enjoy these videos, quickly subscribe. It's absolutely free. And of course, hit that like button. It's very much appreciated. Thank you, everybody, and have a fantastic rest of your day.